It's called to order the Grant County Board of Commissioners special meeting for June 2nd, 2017. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico. This is a symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner. I said hello to everybody else earlier. Okay, we have an agenda. Any changes need to come to the agenda? Okay. Can I get a motion? So moved.
I'll second it.
There's a motion and a second, I assume, to approve the special meeting agenda. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Approve or disapprove agreement number A1715. This is a mining lease between the Commissioner of Public Lands and Grant County.
This is in front of you. We received 2 cease and desist letters from the State Land Office. It became, unbeknownst to us, we did not own the mineral rights to the pit that we utilized for road materials and that we also leased to Fowler Brothers. It was brought to our attention that we did not own the mineral rights, and we had to enter into this lease agreement that's in front of you in order to continue mining. We received 2 cease and desist letters. We were in negotiations for back payment of royalties. We should have been paying royalties back to 1996 when we acquired the property. So we negotiated that down to an amount of $135,000, and then have to enter into this lease agreement, which has some special stipulations. It is $25,000 over 5 years. We do have to pay the $5,000 up front, plus a $250 application fee and another $160 application fee for an environmental piece that has to be done. So in order to continue mining, I am respectfully requesting that you approve this lease agreement.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make the motion that we approve agreement number A17-15.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second to approve A1715. Discussion?
You mentioned the $25,000 rental. There's also $3,000 rental royalty payment, right?
Yes, which we charge royalties. We have to pay royalties to the State Land Office, and then we charge royalties to Fowler Brothers, and they pay us. So that
washes out.
It'll wash.
The only royalty we'll pay, I think, unless you're paying Fowler, but never mind, I got it. I just had to work that through my mind verbally real quick.
So this is 2017, so we haven't made a payment in 21 years. And 21
You'll love this. This is 4 county managers ago. And I actually called John and asked him what he knew about it. And he's like, well, I knew that the property came from Freeport-McMoran. So he's like, we always assumed that Freeport owned the mineral rights and just weren't concerned.
Well, actually, the deed from Freeport to us says that Freeport does maintain the mineral rights, which they put in all of their leases. Well, you go back to
Maybe
the
that's why he
original,
thought
you go
that.
back from where it was originally state land and was deeded to Freeport. State Land Office holds the mineral rights, not Freeport.
So interesting.
I played that card first, played dumb, like, well, it says right here, the deed. We made every effort. So.
Several arguments and then basically they need some money, I think is
Aubrey is a very, very forceful person.
And they're looking for money every
We've argued for 2 months with them, and
actually Charlene was the one that was able to get it basically cut in half when she negotiated.
They were going to charge us $250,000. Wow. Good job, Charlene.
So the lease refers to taking out 250,000 cubic yards. That's not talking about going backwards, right? That's talking about in the future.
That's what they anticipate going to take out in the next 5 years.
So 50,000 cubic yards a year.
Yeah, which I assume we're just building in a lot of extra space, right? Because are we really taking out that much material?
Well, we have a lease with Fowler Brothers, and so they sell material to other people, so that's, and I had Earl verify all of those numbers, the acreage, and he said that those were sufficient numbers, and I'm going to base
We're
that on
not
his
just
expertise.
using the material, we're selling it to Fowler Brothers.
So we use it for all of our road projects or anything else that we have, and then the lease agreement with Fowler Brothers, and they utilize it for all of their projects and sell to.
And presumably, that's not an exclusive lease agreement. Some other contractor could ask us for a similar deal, right?
It currently is a lease agreement with them, and it will have to be put out to bid, and someone could have the
Oh,
opportunity,
okay.
but I don't know.
Usually it's exclusive. You
We're
don't
not
usually...
retailing, we're bidding.
We don't, right. So it's Fowler Brothers is the only one that's in there. Their equipment's in there. They're mining it.
You just got to make sure that somebody didn't get it that closes it down that already has other pits, because then they're not making material for us.
Right.
So is that how it works? Fowler Brothers is making our material?
They have the crushers
Okay.
and equipment to make it, and they make our material. And then, I don't know exactly how you all keep track of it, but I know that that's how part of those fees are paid.
Right, it's based on, right, we pay for by the ton, and we get it at an extremely discounted rate, so that's why this pit is important to us.
If we were buying it from another retailer like Base Course, we'd be paying probably $10 or $12 a yard, and we're paying closer to, including the royalty, to
$3 to $4.
$3 to $4 a yard.
I don't suppose there's any reason to think that we could attempt recovery of some of the purchase price based on misrepresentation of what we were sold by Phelps Dodge.
How good a lawyer are you? Because I don't really know how many they're going to use.
They claim,
But I bet it's all of them.
isn't that a false representation of what they were selling?
I think they were probably unaware of it as well, but, really country, but.
Parking up a tall tree.
Well, I will leave that to you to decide if it's worth your time to look into. I realize that 20 years is probably the biggest barrier.
And I remember, probably in the late 80s, I remember knowing that was a state pit. And everything beside it, kind of how it became a pit, was actually the original, not the original, like the third Tri-City landfill.
Oh.
So, and if there's actually a landfill all to the south of that. So I hope the state land office owns that too.
Yeah, really good.
I'm not doing the history of landfills, but yeah, I think we probably got to approve the lease. So we have a motion and a second. Further discussion before we take a vote? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Approve or disapprove the letter regarding Grant County's involvement in the Forest Service Gila National Forest Plan revision process. Are we deferring to Misha on this one? Since he signed it?
Yeah, in front of you is a letter that I drafted to the Forest Service as part of their notice of intent to do the forest plan revision. This letter is basically just a formality of NEPA to make sure that we have a seat at the table. We have to have a letter to them by June 12th, and you guys aren't going to have another meeting before then. So since this meeting was here, it was suggested we put it on the meeting and have you guys approve it before I sign it and send it. Have any questions on it?
Let's get a motion, we'll have discussion then.
Chairman, I'd like to make the motion that we approve the letter regarding the Grant County's involvement in the Forest Service Gila National Forest revision process. I'll second that.
Motion and second to approve the letter regarding Grant County's involvement in the Forest Service Gila National Forest Plan revision. Discussion. No discussion. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Commissioner comments? I assume somebody wanted to talk, because that's on there. Commissioner comments?
That was not I.
Commissioner comments?
That was me, and I wondered if that would be, the only thing I'd like to say at this time is if that could be on our agenda each time in case there's something that one of the commissioners want to talk about.
We can make that happen.
It is on every regularly scheduled meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
The work session, that's limited to county staff.
Then you meet 2 days later.
You get your,
But if you-
but it's on every regular.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I was going to want to say something this morning, but I took some people's advice, and I wasn't going to say anything. My wife, actually.
Commissioner comments?
My wife was
Yes, yes.
Commissioner comments?
No, sir.
Praise the Lord for the rain.
That's all I have.
Absolutely. We're not going to have a fire season, so the economic development of the forest is going to be a little lower this year. That's usually how we get our money off the forest, other than tilt. So I guess with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is second to adjourn. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes.